Oh, good morning. I think we are on week 13 of this year, if I'm not mistaken. Which, week 13, if you're looking back at it, means 12 weeks have already been completed, which if you're looking at a sales year of 48 weeks, because the last 4 weeks of the year, are your December and going into January, that's a nice quarter of the year done. So what an opportune time to talk about momentum. I'm going to go ahead and get started with any announcements, any quick shout outs, any quick gratitude we want to share. Pop your hand up if that's you. Hi, May, going to you. Yes, sir.
Hey, I wanted to give a shout out to Brian Williams on our team. I've talked about him many times. He's been grinding like day in, day out, and I want to explain a situation that he came across. He had an old brokerage that he was with before he joined our team, and they had asked him for a favor. It was in College Station. They asked him for a favor with the Houston MLS, and he helped them out. And as a gratitude, they were going to send him a gift card. And instead, they ended up calling saying, "Hey, I was going to send you a gift card, but instead, I'm going to send you a referral. Would that be okay?" And everybody and he was like, "Absolutely." Well, that referral led to another referral, and he has since taken 10 listings from that referral. And
Awesome.
yeah, right. And he had just pulled like he probably had not slept for like 36 hours. And when he got that referral, he was like, "Let me take a nap, let me call him after." And then he said, "What if I don't? What if I call him right now?" And that's how it all steamrolled from there. And one of the topics that I explained to the team this week was eliminate the what ifs. What if I would call that lead right now? What if I would wait 2 hours? And the latest listing that he got, it's coming live middle of April. It's a $1.7 million listing. And it's a result of that lead source. So my shout out is to Brian for the grit, and also everybody on the call. Eliminate the what ifs. Eliminate what if I do this. Eliminate what if I do that. So thank you, Brian, for all you do, and of course, thank you for bringing Kevin into our organization, which we're going to hear from in a bit.
I love that. I love that. What a good intro to today, right? Because so much of what we do is not what we add, but what we eliminate, right? Because too many of us, all of us, myself, we have so much going on. And what else can we eliminate to make our life easier, get into momentum faster? So with that said, we raise your hand if you were in Scottsdale, if you did qualify and you went to Scottsdale. Okay, I do see quite a few hands. Excellent. Okay, that's great. If I had to guess, and you guys could probably, those of you who were there that are not, actively pregnant right now, those of you who were there, I would say maybe 10% of our Texas agents were there, more, less. What do you think? More, less?
Maybe less. There weren't enough, Adelina.
Okay,
Not enough,
all right.
that's for
Okay.
sure.
But we represented really well. Let me just put it that way.
There we go. Okay, so not as many as we would like, but the ones that went were all in. I got it. I love to hear it. And of course, this is the Texas Power Up, and yet we have friends from all over the country. So super excited about that. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and spotlight our panelists this morning. I'm going to go ahead, just as I see you, I'm going to go ahead and spotlight you, but I'm going to put them all up so that we can see each other. So it's a lot less awkward. Sorry, Akash, for having to push you first, just because I saw your name. It starts with an A. And then let me head on over to Christina, which I'm excited to hang out with this morning. And then I'm going to grab Lindsay. There we go. And oh, I think that is fantastic. Look at that. Oh, that is a good crew. Good crew. Actually, if I could redo it, I would have done the girls first. Unfortunately, my brain didn't work fast enough this morning. But this is a good group. They were, I think, Lindsay, were you in Scottsdale? You were, yes?
Yes. I was in Scottsdale, and I'm sorry, I'm in my car. My parent teacher day, a shadow day. So I'm currently in my car. But yeah, I just got back yesterday.
Couldn't tell. You look great. Okay, so Lindsay and Christina and Akash and Kevin, they were all in Scottsdale, and this is not a Scottsdale conversation. Although they can go there if they want to. They have a really great business right now. They're really excited about where they're going. Number one, so action is great, but energy behind your action is what drives everything. And so they are super stoked about their quarter two, and I want to chat about it with them. So first, I'm going to I'll go to Akash, and maybe I'll do Akash, Lindsay, Christina, Kevin, something like that. Akash, I'm going to go to you. What is this like your like first year in real estate, 10th year in real estate? Where are you with your career right now? And then the last challenge that you did to get yourself into momentum, what did those results look like?
Yeah, so I am in my 5th year of real estate now, so getting older. But my results from the last challenge really just catapulted me for this quarter. I qualified with doing the dials and then signed listings that went live and then signed total representation agreements. So I'm not 100% sure where I ended on kind of those, but this year, because of that, I've already closed 9 units and I have 3 pending still. And then I have 13 active listings where 8 of them are live, and then 5 are coming soon, and 8 signed buyers with 5 of them doing active showings, basically ready to put in offers. So that was all just the work from the last challenge.
Okay, so that's a lot that we have popping for us. It's called a really good pipeline. Do we all agree, or do we all think that Akash is probably going to have a pretty good year? Pretty good year. All right, I love it. Lindsay, what about you? Are you new to real estate, or have you been in it like for the last 30 years? You don't even look 30, so probably not. And then what did your results look like?
No, I appreciate that. Actually in June will be my 10th year in real estate. So I'm on a team in North Carolina, Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm only a listing agent. So, and I say only just because last year I ended up with 50 units sold.
Wow. Oh, I think, ooh, we might be missing you. And I wanted to hear about those 50 units.
And this year so far, market, I have 9 under contract. Oh, can you hear me better?
You know what? Okay, there we
A
go.
little bit.
Yeah, so the last thing we heard was you had 50 units closed and you have 9 under contract, yes?
Yes, 9 under contract, 13 on the market, and so far I've closed 8 this year, which normally January is my slowest month. So I do truly believe that this competition has just started off the year strong for me because of what we did for the competition for sure.
In your mind, Lindsay, do you think of it as a competition? How do you think about this? Like, because this isn't like your first rodeo. Like, this is 10 years in.
Yeah, well, for one, I did kind of think of it as a competition, but then part of me didn't. So like competitive nature, I'm like, I like to see the productive challenge like week after week where I'm like, where am I scored out? Where can I be better? Where are other people in that competition where I can be like them? So it was something to strive for, but at the same time, it actually built our culture within our team where we had a group text message, keeping each other accountable. So it was really good for the culture. It was really good just to kind of check in on each other to see how we were doing with the progress.
I love that. I love that. That's cool. And then in terms of where you are in North Carolina, is it like a hot market right now? Is it medium? Like, is it slow? Like what, give us an idea so that we know.
It's picking up now. It started off a little bit slower. Right now we're about an even market, so I'd say medium. But we are in a military market. So with Fort Bragg, people are coming and going every 2 to 3 years. So this is the PCS season now. So it's starting to pick up a lot more.
Okay, love to hear it. Love to hear it. Christina, newer to real estate, have been doing it forever. Where are you in the spectrum of things?
I just completed 7 months in real estate. I got licensed.
Oh,
in
welcome,
August.
welcome. Guys, she's still like fresh. Don't scare her. I love it. I love it. So okay, so then you must have done this last challenge as a newbie?
Brand new agent. I didn't know any better. They told me, there's a production challenge, do it. So I was like, okay. But in my mind, I was like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna qualify for this trip.
Okay. What did you end up doing open houses? Did you end up like, how did you qualify as a new
I
agent?
did 50 contacts and 10 signed agreements.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So the 10 signed agreements, like that's a lot for anyone, whether you have been doing this 7 years or 7 months. Do you remember how you were driving that? Is it all sphere based? What is it based?
It was actually not sphere based at all. It was basically open houses and team
Okay.
referrals.
Excellent.
Um, but I looked at the 5 qualifications and I thought, what is kind of the lowest hanging fruit for me? And I've been doing 2 to 3 open houses since I started. So 50 contacts felt like it was really doable. I thought I was going to do the 5,000 dials because I had a 1,000-day dial day in October. But I kind of fell short on that. But then I started having a little bit of momentum with tenants and buyers. So I just kept focusing on how can I convert these contacts into meetings and get them to sign an agreement. So that was kind of all of my focus for that quarter.
Okay, interesting. So how did you do that, by the way? Like, how do you turn somebody from kind of a contact, like they don't necessarily maybe even know you or even care about you, and now they're going to work with you?
I just really asked for the appointment so that I could have a call with them, either and preferably on Zoom, but a phone call. And I know that I'm really strong in being able to convert from an appointment to getting them to commit to sign a contract. Now, all of those didn't pan out into an actual, lease or a sale, but I was able to at least get them to sign the contract because in my mind, we've been told you can't show houses until you have that agreement signed. So that was my impetus to be like, well, in order for us to even work together and see homes, we have to have this agreement signed. And as I was going, I realized that in the beginning, I wasn't getting their full buy-in. And so things started to fizzle out. So then I started to really focus on sharpening my skills to be able to do a proper buyer consultation so that they knew exactly what this partnership was going to be about.
I love that. Love that you called it a partnership. Okay, this will be fun. Excellent. Kevin, first year in real estate, 7 months in, 3 months in, 10 years? Where are you at? Oh, okay. There you are.
We're good. So officially, 2 years in as of March 3rd of this year, and so going on my second full year, and I've been on the team ever since because, like we talked about Brian earlier today, he told me all about Place, and I was all in from the get-go.
I love that. What did your challenge look like before?
So I did the summer challenge, both 50 open houses and 5,000 dials, and then I also did the fall challenge. I did 50 open houses, 5,000 dials, 50 contacts, and 10. I think I ended up signing 12 agreements, and I was 2 listings shy of going live from 5 for 5.
Oh, so close.
They were signed, they just weren't live.
You know what? Yeah, I hear you. What has that done to your business today? What does your business look like today?
So year to date, I officially have 5 closes, 6 under contract. And if you look at sales volume, I am officially $100,000 over what I did all of last year in close/pending.
I love to hear that. Who on the call is maybe 2 years in and would love that? Or maybe you were 2 years in at some point and would have loved that, right? And the way I want us to think about these challenges isn't like, can we do more? It's not more for the sake of more. Remember, growth for undisciplined reasons will lead to burnout, right? Disciplined growth, right? This is very disciplined. This isn't just do random things. These are proven things to get your business off the ground into momentum. And man, momentum is a good thing. Like imagine like if you've read any of John Maxwell's books, right? He often talks about the law of momentum, right? And if you are a train going 5 miles per hour, every little thing that comes in your way, it's so hard to move that train forward, right? The smallest little like stick or log will make it slow. But if you're a train going 70, 80 miles an hour, you will run through a concrete wall and barely be scratched. And that's what momentum looks like. So kind of identify in your own business as you hear these awesome panelists today, where are you with your momentum? And you may be in full momentum and you may be in medium. You may just be getting started. Wherever you're at is a great place as long as you have awareness for it. Akash, I'm going to go to you. You're already having a great year. Are you doing this next challenge that's coming up? And if you are, I don't really want to know like how excited you are. I mean, I'm sure you are excited. You just came back from Scottsdale, but I'm curious, do you have a strategy? Have you thought about a strategy? How do you maintain all of that with a really big business that you're already building?
Yeah, so definitely doing the challenge again. Fully bought into the next challenge. And for my strategy, I think Coach Dar spoke over there at the event, and it was something where she said, like, be intentional, basically. And if you don't have intention for your day runs you, and you don't run your day. Like mastering your morning will set you up for success. So my key part is just staying consistent. I definitely did a few waves the last time. So, I'm going to start off with essentially 1,000 dial day for my dials. I'm focusing on the 5,000 dials because to me, if I focus on that, everything else is naturally just going to come, just like it did last time. So just start off heavy and then stay consistent through it. So create a dialing plan for the rest of my weeks. And that's just something where as long as I am hitting the consistency and not doing it where one day I just log on and I do about 1,000 dials and then I get burnt out, having the intentionality, creating that consistency is the only way now that I kind of want to move forward with maintaining my business. So yeah, just fully creating a plan and just daily goals and hitting those daily goals versus just weekly and monthly goals.
Okay, so you're going to master your morning and you're focusing on daily goals.
Yes.
I like that. So you're doing, I guess I heard 5,000 dials, which to anyone who hasn't done that before, it sounds like an enormous amount. Do you have any idea like what that actually ends up being? Like, is that like what? Like 1,000 dials a week? 700? Any idea?
Yeah, I mean, if it ends up being 1,000 a week, I would be finished earlier, honestly.
Oh.
So that's just for like probably start off 1,000 in the first week, and then I'm gonna go to maybe 500 per week after that, something like that, just so I'm staying consistent and trying to do like 125 dials a day, Monday through Thursday, and just really just keeping it like that, just to make sure that I'm going to hit my 5,000 and we'll be good.
Have you thought about who you're calling?
Yes. So for me, it's a lot of my springtime follow-up. I'm firmly going to go with Ben's strategy. Rates are going down, get listing heavy. So my big goal is get listing heavy this summer.
Okay, I love that. And you are right. The rates are going down. What do we know? What happens? Rates go down, prices go up, people get excited. Let's go. I love it. Lindsay, what about you? 10 years in the business. Are you a single mom? You're a single mom. You have children, right?
I do. I have a 14-year-old and an 8-year-old, and honestly, they're the ones that drive me. So they're the ones that have actually kept me accountable for the last challenge. So I told them, I was like, "There's another one coming up." I told them yesterday, so to get ready.
Okay, so wow, like you do have a very full life outside of your career. You have a very, very full family life.
I
Um,
do.
how are you going to manage this? Like, how do you manage something like this where it's a little bit more than normal, I imagine, right?
Mhm.
And what are you
Yeah.
choosing to do? What's your strategy?
So I didn't know when the dates were gonna fall in line as far as like my vacation times too. So we have spring break, the very first week that this goes active or live for the competition. And then it's the first week of June is my second vacation that we have planned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going for all the challenges again. I want to do every single one. And I think the hardest ones for me were personally the open houses. So I'm going to like look at the weeks and how many I can schedule front load heavy at first. And then as far as the dials, I would prefer to do like Monday through Fridays. So get the 5,000 minus whatever days I'm on vacation and then divide that by the amount of days. So I can strategically do it like throughout the whole time. So I'm not just going to get it done within 20 days. It's going to be consistent. So it builds a foundation for me and then it builds a habit even after the competition.
Okay, couple follow-ups. Number one, who are you calling? Like 5,000 people, like 5,000 dials. Like, who are you planning on reaching out to? Like, what does that look like in your world nowadays?
Anybody and everybody. We have a lot of just lead call for coming in. So anybody through like Zillow or any of the outside source referrals. We do have a Sphere network, a lot of just like past client Sphere. I use the Embrivity where it's like reverse prospecting for listings. So any upcoming listings where it has like 99 matches, I'll call them. I also enjoy expireds and FSBOs, so I call them as well. So I think it just kind of targets depending on the day.
Okay, and then I've got another follow-up. When you mentioned open houses, you know where my mind went was you've got, the 14 and 8-year-old. How do you manage having children and doing open houses?
I do them prior to getting them. So I usually try to do the mornings, and then usually I'll have to do like every other weekend. So I'll let them know that every other weekend I'm doing it, so I can plan like a date night or something the opposite weekends with them. And then I'm usually doing the open houses like anywhere between like 8 and 1 o'clock before I have to pick them up from school because they have sports and everything too in the afternoon.
Okay, how do you not get resentful that on the times you don't have them, you're like working your butt off?
I like to tag them to like I like to tie them into my goals as well. So like the last competition I had shared yesterday or last a couple days ago in Scottsdale that I said if we like when it not if but when I finish this competition, we're going to plan a vacation together and I want to complete everything. So they actually kept me accountable for where I was at with open houses, where I was at with my dials. So if I win, they win. So finishing the challenges now we're going on a cruise in a couple of weeks because I finished the 5 challenges last time. So that's my goal is I just got to find out which vacation we're going to do after this challenge.
Oh my gosh, I love that you're building so much character in these kids. Okay, I love, love, love that. Did not know where this conversation was going to go. Love where it went. Fantastic. Christina, I assume you're planning on doing this next challenge. If
Oh
you
yeah.
are, oh, okay, all right. I mean, I feel the energy on the other side. What strategy do you feel like you're going to be doing? And you are a newer agent, so you don't have, 10 years of past clients. What strategies are you thinking of doing?
So I learned a lot from yesterday's session, or rather Tuesday session. I was definitely inspired when Lindsay was a panelist on stage at Scottsdale. And I love that I have a 6-year-old and an 18-month-old. So this morning I actually had a conversation with my 6-year-old daughter and sat her on my lap facing me and told her, Mommy's doing another production challenge. And we already have a trip planned July to August to Asia. So I couldn't really say another trip because it's already planned, but I said we are going to have a really special time that we're going to plan together when mommy finishes the whole challenge. So I don't know if it really sank in, but we'll have some follow-up conversations. And I learned a lot from that first challenge. I was so new that I kind of like stumbled into it and wasn't really sure how to organize myself, but 6, 7 months in, I understand the day-to-day of the business a lot more and what we, downloaded from Scottsdale. So I love what Akash and Lindsay have already said, like front loading. I need to actually be very intentional about planning my time. And it was good that I had the $1,000 day that, I was told to do back in October, but I definitely want to do at least one, if not two of those to kind of get the calls going. And that I'll probably focus on expired and withdrawals because I need to get better at, going after getting listings. I'm very buyer heavy right now. And open houses was such a challenge for me. I could not conceive how to do 50 open houses in 75 days. So Jeanette, our team leader, has given us this exercise to plan our perfect week. So I've just finished doing time blocking for my whole week. So I'm going to do another version for the production challenge and actually plan out all of the open houses that I'm going to do. Because I have this like preconceived notion that only the weekends are going to be productive, but in order to actually find out if other times work, we're going to have to plan it and see. It's trial and error, right? So I'm going to plot out all those 50 open houses, plan my 1,000 to 2,000 DAL days, and then divide the rest of it for the rest of the week so that I remain consistent. I think focusing, I mean, they lay out a plan for you, because if you do the open houses and dials, the rest of the categories follow. And so I'm going to focus on the activity so that the results will come as a product of what you're doing. And I really loved Coach Starr's session. She's a high performance coach. She works with a lot of athletes. The thing that really stuck out to me that she said was expectations ruin the journey. And
Oh,
she said that related to some personal stuff in her life, and I really related to that. But it also translates into, you know, professional life. Expectations ruin the journey. So I want to go in being committed and intentional to accomplish the activities, but I don't want to have this expectation that I'm gonna get 5 active listings and that go live and all of that, because that the active listing part, that's where I have the most fear. So I know for myself, in order for me to eliminate fear, I've got to get into action. So I'm going to focus on the activity.
I love that. I love that. With you being, I don't want to say a new mom, because 18-month-old isn't brand new, but man, I mean, I have a 22-month-old, so I get the energy level it takes with younger children. How are you, just as a side note, are you working 40-hour weeks? Is it 50-hour weeks? Is it 20-hour weeks? Is it 60-hour weeks? What does that look like in your world today?
Yeah, I mean, I really couldn't do this if my husband wasn't so supportive, but he's getting licensed now and getting into commercial real estate. So we're going to be both building new businesses, which is just hilarious. But I'm really proud of him because he's been wanting to do something for himself and, you know, leave corporate before he's 40 kind of thing. But we had a lot of support with the baby until quite recently. And then he's actually, Rafa's starting school next Monday. So it's like, it's bittersweet because we loved having him at home and teaming, my husband and I, like if we're on calls or whatever, you know, we'd switch who looks after him. But he's starting school on Monday, so that kind of opens up the whole day for us to be able to actually execute on our schedules and the plan and the time blocking that we're doing. I actually still have my tech job, which is very flexible and fully remote. And it doesn't really require too much time, which is why I was able to get into real estate last year. So since I started real estate, it really has been 40 to 60-hour week in real estate. And that has accelerated that growth for me because I've been able to give the time and energy into real estate. So I feel really blessed that I'm able to like continue that job, yet this is kind of this is my main career right now. And that's what it was always, you know, I planned for it to be. But with the children, you know, I just have to, and that's where the time blocking comes in, where the morning and then late afternoon to evening, I have to be very intentional to dedicate to them. Because over the last couple months, I mean, since January hit, my schedule's been so crazy. And I haven't put the guardrails up because I've been basically entertaining everything from every client. And it started to really bleed into my family time. And so after this trip, I've decided I'm going to really put guardrails up and know that I need to disconnect and put my phone away, put my laptop away when I'm spending those couple hours with the family. And that will actually make me more productive because then during the day I can focus on exactly what I need to do without distractions. And then now that he's going to school, it's just a lot easier to flow throughout the day. Did I answer that question? Yeah.
love that because last week we had Darian on from Utah. And what time does Darian wrap up work? Does anybody remember?
4 or 5?
5 o'clock, 5 o'clock, right? And that is a guardrail that he has put around his life. Now, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying that what are your guardrails, right? Now, I'm not saying have guardrails if you're working 25 to 30 hours a week, guys. That is not a full-time career at all. But those of you, I know you, who are doing 40, 50, 60 hours without guardrails, you start to resent it. You start to be burned out instead of, now there's always going to be stress out, right? Like we're dealing with people's emotions. These are high numbers we're talking about, high asset classes. And so it's normal to feel stress. If you're starting to feel burnout, there's something that we've got to work through behind the scenes. Oftentimes it's guardrails. Love that. Kevin, as you're thinking about your upcoming, I don't know, call it next 75 days. What does your strategy look like? What are you thinking you're going to do either differently or the same this time around? And then I'm going to wrap everybody up with outside of results, guys, because I know results matter. What other outcomes are you looking for by doing this next challenge? What is it that you want to get out of it? Like, what's motivating this? Think about those answers. All right, Kevin, strategies.
Let me see it. So I think my next 75 days, I'm definitely doing all 6 of the challenges. I don't know if they've announced them officially yet. My plan is the exact same way I did the 4 out of 5 in fall, is front loading and accountability. So if you'll remember, the first summer challenge was actually only 60 days, and Ben decided to give us an extra 15 in the fall. And so I took that as an opportunity to knock out as much of those things that I could do in the first 2 weeks. And I'm going to take the exact same approach in the spring. It's going to look like it did before. I'm going to probably do close to 100 Brivity dials a day, and then do the Mojo dials at the end of the week. I'm going to make sure I front load my open house schedule. I'm going to be very intentional when it comes to getting a representation agreement signed, meaning I'm going to use the fact that it's a reward for me as even more leverage to say, I need you to sign this piece of paper. And lastly, accountability. I'm going to put my phone number in the chat, but I started a place group accountability text, and at 4 o'clock Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday, we were posting in that group chat our results, our activities for the day, and I knew that if I didn't show up, I'm a Chiefs fan, all right, let's be honest. The football season was a rough season. But I knew on a Monday, if I didn't have something to post in that group chat, I was letting somebody down. So accountability was 100% a huge thing for me. So I'm going to continue to do that as well.
I love that. Thanks for offering, by the way. That's awesome. Definitely get us inspired. Outside of what you're doing, like, obviously you've got a purpose in life, you've got a plan in life, you've got investment properties, you've got an amazing partner. Like, outside of sales, why are you doing this? Like, why are you putting yourself through this, by the way? Like, it's 75 days of hard, essentially, for your career. Like, why are you doing this? You're doing pretty good already without it.
Yeah, I think for me, I know before I got licensed how much real estate changed my life when it comes to building wealth. I bought 2 duplexes with my VA loan, 0 down, and I have investment properties. And I want to help other people do that as well. And so that's my driving force when it comes to this industry, but also outside of the industry. I love it because it's the best way for average, ordinary people like me, like everybody on this call, to build wealth, and everybody can do it. And that's my driving motivation every day, to be honest.
Can you follow up on what do you mean by being intentional about signed agreements? Is there anything that you had in mind?
Yeah, so I think as far as being intentional with those signed agreements, it's like it was kind of part of the challenge was getting those 10 agreements. And so it was just another little bit of motivation. So instead of letting a potential buyer say, oh, I don't want to sign, anything, I don't want to agree to anything. Well, okay, that's fine. But in order to get into this home, it is now required that we have required documentation. And so there's always instances where they would say, oh, I don't, this other guy is showing me a property, blah, blah, blah. And I would say, well, that's fine. But I was very intentional with the phrase, the required documentation. We will be signing the required documentation before we move forward. And that just was, again, the challenge helped with that because it was a additional motivation to get those 10 agreements signed,
Well, then I guess my follow-up to that is, okay, fine, somebody signs it, whether they were excited to or not. How are you building value so that those are intentional, like they're going to intend to actually close a deal with you?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's the playbook. Run the follow-up campaign. I've got a signed agreement with an individual who stopped at one of my open houses in the last challenge. And when we get this guy a home, it's going to be amazing because he is a retired 30-year command sergeant major from the Army. And just so happens VA loans are my jam. And he walked into the right open house that day. We're going to not only get him a house, but we're going to get him his 100% service connected rating that he earned. And we are going to set this guy up for so much success. And it's things like that I love about this job. And I don't know if I answered that question or not, but
I think what I want everybody to hear from Kevin right now is when he talks, do you hear him light up? I do, right? Like if the only reason you wouldn't hear it is if you weren't paying attention. It's okay. You can come back in and be with us. But there's a lot. What is your light up factor? You got to find your light up factor or this is going to get old real quick. I don't care what you're doing for your business now, but find your light up factor because you can get a paycheck anywhere. You could go work at Walmart. I don't recommend it, but like you could, right? Find your light up factor. That is going to change the trajectory of all of this for you. Kevin, I love that. Lindsay, what outcome do you want, obviously outside of just the paycheck? Because you could get that paycheck at Walmart. You're too pretty to work there, but what outcomes are you looking for?
I would like to see from our team more participation. Like I would love to get like more people involved because I do feel like when we had that group text message separate from our team, it really did build that culture within us. So it was like, oh, what'd you do today? Or how many dials did you get done? Or how many, like, what was the results that you found? So I honestly think that the more participation that we can have, the better, because I would love to see more people at the next event. So that's a big one for me.
Are you the owner of the team?
No, I'm the daughter of the owner of the team. So they started it in 2014 and then I joined them a year later. I was the guinea pig.
I love a good guinea pig. I do. Because you speak like you have ownership, but I'm also not surprised because one of our values is only leaders, right? And leadership isn't about position. Leadership is about owning what your part in all of this is, right? Because we all have a small slice in all of it. I love that. Okay, so you're going to focus on obviously like the activities and in your regular financial outcomes and bringing people along with you.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, love that. What about you, Christina? What are your outcomes? What do you want to achieve through this?
Well, I think number one, I think when I looked at the leaderboard last time, my focus is just being the best version of myself. I mean, I am competitive in nature, but it's not about like being number one or seeing my name up there. I just want to commit to myself and just be the best version of myself. And it's the deeper why is really for my kids so that they can see what you can accomplish when you put your mind to it. And I just want them to, live in this environment where they see that mommy is setting goals and achieving them. But also there's a combination of what Kevin and Lindsay said. Rising tide will lift all ships. And I just want our group, Spinelli Residential Group, I'd love for all of the agents to win together, to raise the profile of, our group that we're working together, but also just to have them there with me experiencing the next trip. But by the time we get there, we'll have accomplished so much and business will be rocking. So that's really exciting. And then I've always loved real estate, and there's really two motivations for me. Finding that perfect home, or getting that perfect home and getting that home and making it into a perfect home, especially for first-time home buyers, because I was a first-time home buyer in 2023, and it really was such a milestone, and it's so exciting, and being able to be part of that journey for clients is really the underlying driver and what we do every day. But also, so I'm getting into my first investment property now, thanks to one of my colleagues who found me an opportunity. And I'm just so excited to be able to deliver that message to people, clients, friends, that they too can invest and have another stream of income, and being able to show them the light that real estate can really change your life.
I love that. What I hear is that you are big into being the example for your family, for your children, for your clientele. Which I think also, if you're not hearing the confidence in Christina's voice, you're missing something, because there's a confidence that comes from doing the work, from having the deeper need to be the example, right? I love that, Christina. That's awesome. Can't wait to see SRG out there. Love it. Akash, wrap us up with what outcome or outcomes are you looking for this time around, maybe that you weren't maybe doing it for last time?
Yes, so after doing, all of the challenges, it's something where my big why is always the same. Like, I want to live the best life, or like my wife and I to live the best life and have the most amount of freedoms that we can have. That's like goal number one, no matter what. But for myself to get motivated in a lot of these challenges now, it's like the big why is always there, but I need to find a few more whys to kind of really incentivize me to go through it. So for this one, it really is mastering the mundane. Like, I have heard it so many times, and I need to get consistent with it. I need to be intentional about my energy about doing it, because that's just something where, like, that's the core foundation of being able to, exponentially grow, basically. So it's just my big outcome from this one is I really just want to master the mundane and creating those consistent work ethic, basically, for lead generation, structuring my schedule. And I have structured it pretty well. I just really want to fine tune it and make sure that I'm hitting it every single day. And then the other big outcome is, of course, I am same as everyone else. I just want more people on our team to get there. So it's something where I am going to be intentional about following up with people here on the team, not making them feel guilty, but making them feel guilty. Like, why aren't you doing this? What else are you doing? I'm here, I'm doing this, like, my plate is full, and I'm still continuing and committed to be here to do this. So I'd love to see everyone else do it as well. And then, I mean, a side caveat as well, I think Ben will announce it. I think there's stock on the line for this, or any chance to get pre-IPO stock. Hell yes, there is no way that I'm going to say no to that at all.
I love that. We always talk about diversifying our incomes, blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you, if you haven't been around the world long enough, or maybe this wasn't a focus for you personally, pre-IPO stock is such a rarity. Such a rarity. I'm gonna say it one more time. Pre-IPO stock is such a rarity. 99.9% of us would never have this opportunity, not in a good or a bad way. It's just we weren't born into it, guys. Most of us would not have the opportunity for pre-IPO. And this is Ben and Chris's big dream for all of us. So why not, right? Jaime, follow up?
Yeah, to add to that, anybody remember Napster? Raise your hand if you remember Napster, right? Okay, how we are connected with Napster is that Suzanne was part of Napster whenever it went public. And guess what? This week, that company just sold for $20 million. That company that has not been operating for 20 years just sold for $20 million.
Yeah, it'd be the equivalent of like Kevin not selling any real estate for 20 years and he sells his database for 20 million. Like, I mean, hello, right? But also they made great money when they did go public. Fantastic. So those of you who, we're going to have several different people on the call. We're going to have probably camp number one that hears this and they're like, oh my gosh, yes, I want to be Lindsay and Christina and Akash and Kevin. Like, they are, that's who I want to be. Like, awesome. that's a great camp to be in. You may be in the camp of, I am not actually entirely sure what I want in life, and I'm working through that. And that's totally okay as well. We did something at our team meeting on Monday that I can repurpose and send out, of how you can get a little bit more clear on a couple of things. Number one, your strategy. Number two, your identity. And number three, your mindset. And so those that were at the Scottsdale event on our team didn't get to hear it, but I can definitely send it out if you so want it. Just pop it into chat that you do. It's just, the more clear you get on what outcome you want, not result, outcome, what outcome you want out of life, the more you can bring it back to what does that career do for you, so you can get to your outcome. The people that have sent me theirs in from our team, I'm very clear on what the outcome they want for their life. And it's so good. And almost all of it has nothing to do with making more money. Making more money is the path to their outcome, but it's not the only thing they're interested in. And most people who succeed in life, it's not about the money, it's what the money does for you. Lindsay, you're amazing. Thank you for joining us. Christina, thank you for joining us. Akash, Kevin, thanks everyone for joining us and giving us a few extra minutes. If you're wondering what the heck is a production contest, I bet you Chris and Ben will announce it either tomorrow or the following Friday. It's going to make such an amazing difference. And here's one thing I wrote down, and I'll leave you with this. I highlighted it here. Place grew by 46% last year. 46% last year, reaching 440 million in revenue with a net income of 16 to 17 million net income. Like, that's called profit. Look back at your business. Did your business grow to the extent that you wanted it to, in order to get the outcome that you wanted? Place is very clear on their outcome. Their outcome is to IPO, right? And what is, I think you probably wrote it down. Place is targeting an $8 to $12 billion valuation with an IPO. Place is clear on their outcome. It's not about the money, it's about all of us. Are you clear on the outcome that you want? And then what are the steps you're going to take? And the production contest may be one of those strategies. Cool? All right, we'll see you on the Friday call with Chris tomorrow. You guys have a good rest of your day. We'll see you later. Bye, guys. See you next week.